first of all, listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind words and telling me how great a player I am. But when they play like crap and we call them out, we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I'm easy to find, but I get sick of these guys complaining. These young guys, they never call us and say, when a coach is wrong, I'm going to call him out. But when players are wrong, I'm going to call them out. But listen, I'm going to criticize guys if they deserve it. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Nathan back with another video presentation. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody's staying safe. We got how many days left of September? 10 days left of September. And fall is like I think Wednesday, I want to say it is. Welcome to episode, maybe now like on 7? Episode 7, yes, of the podcast. I want to take this opportunity to again thank you all for the support that you have been giving me and this channel tremendously. Like I said, we're on the road to 100 subscribers. If you like the video and you want to see more of it, consider hitting the subscribe button. Be sure to leave this video and other videos a thumbs up. Feedback is greatly appreciated. Leave your thoughts and comments. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Before I get into the video, there's a couple of things I want to say up front. Episode 8 of the podcast will go live. So it's not going to be a bonus. I decided to after yesterday, because there was 5 WNBA games on yesterday. There was none on Saturday. I just decided, well, let me just do episode 8 for the podcast. So that will come out sometime tomorrow afternoon at best. In this video today, I'm gonna break the takeaways for week 2 of the NFL, and then I'm gonna briefly touch, because I'm gonna talk about this more episode 8, WNBA awards, who was my MVP, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Player, All Rookie Team, First, Second, All NBA, All WNBA Team, Defensive, all of that. This video I'm going to talk about as well, the Chiefs or Ravens recap, excuse me. It's a couple of things my eyes saw in Washington. I wanted to just talk briefly about some things that's going on with the Washington football team. Got to talk about the Orioles. We won tonight 2-0. Yes, we beat the Phillies, even though we just came off a sweep. We got swept by those Boston Red Sox. And the Nationals, unfortunately, lost. So, and then I got to talk about the Mystics. We got eliminated from the playoffs, and I got some things I need to get off my chest. So I'm just going to vent about that. But be on the lookout for episode 8 tomorrow. Again, I do apologize if I'm behind up on the episodes. I will have those uploaded to y'all. Via Anchor, via Spotify. Want to give me more suggestions? Again, different topics we can discuss. Leave them in the comments below. I would like to do more than just talk sports. I like to talk about social things that affect our everyday lives. So please feel free to talk about those. Leave those thoughts in the comments below. Really quick, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to Anthony Johnson. If you don't know who Anthony Johnson is, he was known for playing Ezell on Friday and House Party, and he also was in the movie Panther. He, on the 6th of September, they didn't publicly announce his death until today. He was found lifeless in a store, which was kind of sad. I mean, not kind of. Excuse me, it is sad. I apologize. Scratch it for the record. That's kind of unreal that it happened. That found lifeless in the store. So I know back in like 2009, he had like a heart attack, but then it was like a couple years ago he said it was just a panic attack. So Anthony Johnson's been in a few movies, Lethal Weapon 3 as well, Menace to Society, Hot Boys. I know he was like on the Jamie Foxx show for like one episode. I know he was on like Malcolm and Eddie, Moesha, a couple other shows. I know he was on Def Comedy Jam. So I just want to give my thoughts and prayers to his family. Sad. Just, we just got to continue to just thank God that we allowed to see another day, count our blessings, tell them, the next person, our loved ones, how much we love them, hug them a little tighter, and just, keep thanking the man above every day for the blessings that he gives us, especially during these crazy times where, the devil is working. But, just faith and staying strong and just praying to God every day, to me, is the key. But I want to start off with the NFL takeaways. Actually, this was kind of a very disgusting week for me in terms of fantasy football. I'm now 0-2. I don't know really what to feel, but let me start off with the Oakland Raiders versus Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought it was a good game. The final score was 30. Derek Carr had a good win against Pittsburgh. Another game where he threw for over 300 yards. He threw for 382, 2 touchdowns. The Oakland Raiders, on a short week, go into Pittsburgh and play like that, that's immaculate. Derek Carr was in the MVP conversation back in 2016. I just don't think we need to sneeze at the way he's playing these first 2 games. Now, I'm not going to go as far as saying he's MVP, but I think we need to kind of, give him his props, because we know the criticism that he's been getting. Is he that quarterback? Even though, unfortunately, once again, we don't talk about coaching. We don't talk about, other than Amari Cooper and Darren Waller, who else has he really had to work with. But that's neither here nor there. Pittsburgh, I don't know, man. I just don't know what to really take for the Steelers. I think it's a little weird. I was watching. I'm not going to say the sports show what it was, but the question was: should Pittsburgh, is this it for Big Ben? And I'm like, after 2 games, and especially after, once again, let's just give the Oakland Raiders credit. They, on a short week, went into Pittsburgh and just kicked their ass. Like, I feel like with these random narratives that they give, they tell on other quarterbacks, it makes no sense to me at all. But I definitely think that was probably one of the best games I've seen, especially with the Raiders, the injuries that they have. This shows, again, resiliency, heart, determination. I know TJ Watt was injured in this game as well. What else happened on yesterday? The Dolphins. Hold on.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
35-0. I really don't know what else to say. I know Tula got hurt with a rib injury, and unfortunately, they're saying he can miss more time. He can miss more time. And then yesterday, they were talking about the Deshaun Watson rumors starting to pick up. I feel bad for Tula, in a sense, because I feel like the Dolphins seem like they're ready to move on from him already. To me, but as a collective unit, y'all get, last time I checked, y'all getting paid. You got to get, at least give me 14 points. I mean, to just let Buffalo come into your home and don't even show up at all. That's disgusting. As great as a coach as Brian Flores is and what he's done with this team, that's disappointing. That's very disappointing. What else did I take away from Sunday? Sam Darnold and the Panthers. They look really good against those New York Jets. I feel bad for Zach Wilson because I already know that. I already see it already. You know, he threw 4 interceptions. Listen, everyone's entitled to have a bad game. There's no such thing as a perfect quarterback. But for Sam Darnold, for 305 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sam Darnold, I told y'all how I feel about him. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he was the 3rd best quarterback. Well, excuse me, 4th best quarterback coming out the draft. But I told you the guy that was his head coach and the guy that ran 2 NFL teams into the ground, I believe ruined him. And now that he's with a real football coach, and now you're starting to see where I think Sam Darnold can be. So I like it. Still can't sneeze at Christian McCaffrey. I think arguably he's one of the best running backs in the game. He should be on my fantasy football team, but that's okay. What else happened? The Chargers lost to the Cowboys.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
But I will say this, though. I'm a fan of Greg Zuerlein, a.k.a. Legatron. I think they were the first team in the AFC West to lose, up in the second team. Last name was Kansas City as well. That Titans and Seahawks game was really, really good. I'm telling you, give them the first week, everybody's still rusty. We kind of figuring each other out and different things like that. But Derrick Henry went up in there and had 182 yards. Before that, coming into that game, the Seahawks were like 52-0, leading by 15 or more at home. I thought it was a safety that Tennessee got, but he was down Russell Wilson was down at the half mark. I felt like it was Seattle's game to win, but the Tennessee Titans, you can never count them out. You just can't. What else happened? Who else played? The Arizona Cardinals played the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I thought that was a great game. No, Mike Zimmer. Question.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
Can I ask why you let 37 seconds go off the clock instead of trying to get your kicker, I think his name is Greg Joseph, closer to win the game? All you had to do was run the ball maybe 1 or 2 more times. But the fact that you did that, how
do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
That's there's no excuse for that. Mike to me, you're the reason they lost. It was a good game, but that just, oh my God. How do you let 37 seconds go off the clock? It's beyond me. The Rams and Colts. Now I get what people are starting to say about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz had the most awful shuffle pass.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
the worst shovel pass I ever saw at the 1 yard line. Their goal line offense cost them this game. Their reason they lost. They're off. It was horrendous. The first 2 quarters, they got inside the Rams' 3 yard line 2 different times, and you came away with a donut. That can't happen. I believe the first drive, if I'm not mistaken, the first drive, they got stuffed on 4 straight plays, and that's when Carlson Wentz threw an interception off that dumbass shuffle pass. Excuse my language. The Rams, once again, it was a cup show. 163 yards, 9 receptions. The defense did struggle a little bit, but several big plays again. Like as the game was progressing, they got better. I would say Indianapolis goal line offense was just bad, and on top of that, Carson Wentz injured both ankles. Wow. I'm not gonna play that again. How you do that? I'm not doing that. It's bad enough he's coming into a situation where his confidence has already been shook by a certain sports analysis. I'm not going to say what his name is. Y'all may know who I'm talking about. But how do you injure both ankles? Andy Dalton, I'm really hoping it's not an ACL injury. It might be a sprain. He's doing so much to show that he could be the starter for the team, in my eyes. But I feel like this is a great opportunity for Justin Fields to show why he's the future for this team. I already talked about Tua and his rib injury. Tyrod Taylor had a hamstring injury against the Browns. So, hey, Texans, Cam Newton, just saying. TJ Watt had a groin injury. Lovely. You signed a contract and you got injured. Lovely. My boy Brandon Graham is might be out for the season. No, they say he tore his Achilles Sunday. And Brendan Brooks was also injured. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like these type of things with Carson Wentz in Philadelphia, we didn't talk about at all. And who else got injured Sunday? Taylor Lewan. He got injured during warm-ups. How that happened, I don't know. I'm not going to talk. Well, I wish I had that clip. I want to give a shout out to Sean Spencer, Mr. Trophy Thrower, Mr. Dimple Chin himself, Tom Brady, has been doing things that we've never seen before. Now, the Buccaneers have won now, 9 straight games, and they've scored 30 or more points. The last time that happened was back in 2007 and 2010 when Mr. Dimple Chin himself was in New England. If because of yesterday, he can tie Peyton Manning for 5 straight games if he throws like 4 or more touchdowns against Los Angeles Sunday, which will not happen. To me, they say he's on pace to throw 50 touchdowns. Y'all may think I'm crazy, but I think Mr. Dimple Chin himself is going to go for 60. I just think with Tom Brady with these weapons, this is what he was trying to get across in New England. I can't even get it out for sure. So I'm going to be confident. I'm going to say he'd go for 60. Also, too, if I talk about the Saints, they lost to the Panthers 26-7. Once again, I felt like the narratives about Jameis Winston were going to come out. All right, we're going to come out. He unfortunately threw his first interception of the year. The Saints just didn't have a good game overall. Because I looked back at the game and he was sacked 4 times. I mean, just 128 off total offense the Saints had. The last time that happened was when it was like 2001. Was that when they had like Aaron Brooks, Jeff Blake, Ricky Williams, Joe Horn, Deuce McAllister, I think was on that squad too. I don't think this has nothing to do with Drew Brees not being there. I think this is more about effort and I think strategy. I don't think the Saints are ready to come into Carolina, and I don't think they're ready. I just don't think they're ready to play football. But it now makes me even more wonder about Michael Thomas because just something about it, this situation with him, it just doesn't sit right with me. It still doesn't. I just find it weird, right? The season is over in January, but you opted to get the surgery in June. And on top of that, you're putting out tweets, taking shots at the Saints. Now, you signed it. Now, you at some point in the back of that lovely head of yours, you know Drew Brees wasn't going to be there forever. So one would think that you're not happy with the quarterback situation. One may think that you've gotten your money and you're like, I'm good. It just something about Michael Thomas and the situation with the Saints don't sit right with me. It just doesn't. Michael Thomas is a great wide receiver. He's, to me, one of the best when healthy. I just don't really know what more you can do. I just feel like they need to just find either move on or just go with the flow. But me personally, I wish he was on that field. But just something about why would you wait until June? And training camp was right around the corner to get the surgery. Beyond me. But let me talk about the game, the game of the year, in my opinion. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me say this. When I made that video going before this one, I went in there. I came into this game with an open mind. Now, I want to start off by saying this. If you asked me in the beginning of the season, hey Nathan, you don't have 3 running. You have all healthy. Your 3 running backs, LJ Ford, Marcus Peters, Ronnie Stanley coming off ankle injury. Healthy. You had a healthy squad. If you told me today, what is your outlook for this season? With the injuries now, going into this game, I would have told you I don't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect coming into this game. Now, the first play of the game where he threw the pick, his wide receiver slipped. Lamar Jackson. The second interception he threw, yes, Nathan Snell is saying that was a horrible pass, throwing into triple coverage. Made absolutely no sense. But when I look at this game, mind you, I'm still kind of shook from them losing Monday night to Oakland. Coming into this game, I knew that these guys were motivated, particularly Lamar. Because if you listen to Lamar Jackson's press conferences, team first. It's never me. It's about us as a collective unit. And I've said this on numerous occasions. The others around Lamar Jackson have to step it up. Now, to have now had 70 points given up in 2 games as a defense, that's not, to me, what Baltimore's defense looks like. However, I give them credit where credit is due, particularly those last few minutes. The young guy stepped up. I'm going to say it here. I'm going to eat my words for it. Anthony Everett, great. There was a great play where he locked up Tyreek Hill. Brandon Stevens stepped up. Guys stepped up when it mattered. But let me look at it from the beginning of it. We were down early. And to me, Lamar Jackson has, to this game, showed me that when the team's down, he's going to do everything in his power to will the team back to motivate them. But it's a team effort. I keep stressing the others around Lamar Jackson must step up. Came into this game with an offensive line that was not in sync. The wide receivers were not in sync. Okay. When I look at those last few minutes, we took 8 minutes off the clock. I said to myself, no, the biggest mistake was I thought it was really dumb. I don't know why Harbaugh called that second timeout. I don't know why he did it. That was dumb. I know he didn't want to get the penalty, but I'm like, you should, because they got the ball back. It was like 2 minutes, with 2 minutes and some change, and I'm like, oh shit, they're going to drive down and they're going to score. But we were down 35-21. And they saw the clip of Rex Ryan's brother looking at the defense. I'm sitting there going like, we're down 11. Okay. Well, it was a good game. And then I saw Lamar wheel his team. The turning point of the game was when Patrick Mahomes threw that pick, but more importantly, when hey Lucinda, happy Monday, good to see you, was when he ran to the left side. He got a first down. He broke off somebody, but that's when I knew we were willing. The will to win the game was there. I have to also look at the Chiefs. Offensively, the play of the game, in my opinion, was when Travis Kelce, I say, had to be at least 40, 50 yards breaking tackles through the entire defense. That was horrible. That we allowed him to score on that one possession. I'm also looking at they still scored 35 points on us. I will say this: Patrick Mahomes kind of got a little cute, too cute with the ball. It's funny, and how can I explain this? I mean, let me finish breaking down the game. The biggest moment was Odafe Owe, where he got the strip sack on Khalil Edwards, to seal the game. The biggest moment was, okay, it's a 4th and 1. What do you want to do? And Harbaugh asked Lamar, do you want to go for it? Oh, hell yeah, you're going to go for it. And he did it. I mean, the running backs, Williams, Murray, Freeman, everybody stepped up. Marquise Brown had a nice game. Also, some allegedly had 2 girlfriends at the game. That's tough. I mean, the defense when it's needed, when we need the most, stepped up. Even though I'm not comfortable that they gave up 35 points. It was a really good football game. And I felt really, really I was crying tears of joy because Lamar Jackson, well, actually, hold on. Let me hold that thought. Let me back up. Other than the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, their defense was not subpar. It has not been subpar these last 2 games, even though they stepped up in that Cleveland game Sunday. Okay? I'm looking at you couldn't contain Tyshawn Williams, Murray, and Freeman. And I didn't see any up front, the front 4, any get significant. I didn't see anyone step up. Patrick Mahomes, we all know the golden boy, the golden child of the NFL. He could do no wrong. Even though for some reason I thought him throwing that pass, the Tavon Young-Carter's interception, was dumb. But when it was all said and done, Lamar Jackson willed his team to win. And unfortunately, in what he did, he killed this. He checked off this narrative that's been created by the media, which I have told you guys numerous times. They've put on Lamar Jackson. They said he had to beat Patrick Mahomes. That's what was said. He had to beat Patrick Mahomes. He had to get better at passing the football. And obviously has won championship. So he threw for 233 yards. And he had well over 100 yards. So the last player I think did that. He joined a nice group of guys. I know it was like Randall Cunningham, Steve Young, Michael Vick, and Jamal Charles. Nice category to be in part of. All great players. I didn't see Steve Young or Randall Cunningham at the end of his career. I already saw Michael Vick. But I'm trying to figure out where the record was. But I know it was he joined that. It was a good list. But when I these last again, when I look at Lamar Jackson, I see a football player. I see a guy that no matter what, when it may be rough when the team's down, I see a guy willing that wills his team to the best of his ability. We can all say what you want about Lamar. He's not that guy, or he's not this. Mind you, Lamar Jackson, this is now year 4. Okay, he's been a starter for going on now. He didn't even start his rookie year. He started 7 games. Okay, so when you look, he's 31-8 as a starter. I don't know what more besides a championship that you need from Lamar Jackson. He's beaten Patrick Mahomes again. He checked off that narrative. He has to beat Patrick Mahomes. But if you're saying he's not that guy, then Baker Mayfield's not that guy. Josh Allen's not that guy. Deshaun Watson's not that guy. Tula's not that guy. It's just, once again, this is what bothers me when I have conversation with people that are casuals or don't really watch the games. When I'm watching the games and I see what Lamar can be. Lamar has shown that he can and will improve as a quarterback. When I looked at that microscope, that lens, I see a football player. Everybody can't be a Patrick Mahomes. That's one in a billion. But you hold him to, again, he's the golden child of the NFL because he has all these toys. But you never point out his weaknesses. Everyone makes excuses for Patrick Mahomes. Well, the offensive line in the Super Bowl, well, Nathan, they did have injuries. Last time I checked, next man up. They still have the same weapons. There should be no excuse. Now he's got a revamped offensive line. That defense, these last two games, really has been suspect. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, but again, that's Lamar Jackson. Now they're going to find ways to say, well, he still needs to do X, Y, and Z. It's just my opinion. But when I look at the games, Lamar Jackson is a generational talent. Can he get better at throwing the football? Yes, but I believe he's shown that he's one that he's done that. Last time I checked, when 7.5% of your passes are dropped, that's not Lamar Jackson's problem. That's wide receivers, tight ends. Last time I checked, they get paid too. Because let me remind you again, when he came into this season, that first year, he took a team. Because I don't know, I don't know where this narrative, this notion that comes from that he's not that guy. When he came into a situation where the team that was not built for him, it was built for Joe Flacco. Because remember, they had the 27th overall pick. Who was that pick? Hayden Hurst. They traded back into the first round for Lamar Jackson. That was Joe Flacco's team. That team was 4-5, season on the line, dead in the water. Joe Flacco got his money, lazy, just threw the white flag. Lamar Jackson, they go 10-6, and unfortunately losing the wild card. Then they go, remember the blueprint. 14-2, they win the AFC North, unanimous MVP. Unfortunately, as a collective unit, because last time I checked, Lamar Jackson wasn't the one getting pushed like a rag doll by Derrick Henry. That happened to be Earl Thomas. Last time I checked, Lamar Jackson not a wide receiver. He's not a tight end. As a collective unit, we all wet the bed. But I get it. I understand because everyone holds Lamar Jackson to this high this standard. I hold everybody to a certain standard equally. Just because he may have a Heisman or he may be the most hyped up player, I hold them all to the same standard. We've never said, "Hey, Patrick Mahomes, you lost to Tom Brady. You lost to Tom Brady now twice." No one said no one has painted a narrative on Patrick Mahomes. Well, if you want to be the greatest of all time, you need to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. No one said that. No one has said that. But again, Lamar Jackson is and the Baltimore Ravens as a collective unit are killing these narratives about the team and what Lamar can and can't do. Because what I'm seeing, again, these last two games, he's made mistakes and he's owning up to it. He's going out there and leaving it on the field. And last night was a clear and prime example of that. And again, you can say what you want about me, maybe you Raven fans or X, Y, and Z. If you watch the game through a periscope and see, wow, this kid is a football player. Last night was a great example. It was a great game. But if all you do is rely on the media who paints these narratives about Lamar, you're deceived. You're not watching the games. You're not looking at it from your eyes. Because the media is going to tell you what they want about a certain player. Well, this player, he can't catch the ball. He can't block. He can't shoot. He can't do this. He can't do that. That's what the media does. You have to see it for yourself. Again, I'm quoting a certain YouTuber who I'm a fan of. Trust your eyes. But let me get off that. We play the Detroit Lions. We're on the road for 2 weeks. We got the Detroit Lions. We got to go see Jared Goff, and who just lost tonight, unfortunately, to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I will cover that in episode 8 tomorrow. And then we go to the Mile High City. We got to face Teddy and the Broncos. That should be a good 2 weeks. And then I think we're actually – hold on, look at the schedule real quick. Excuse me. I think we're like back home. I want to say it's against the – hold on, let me look at the schedule. The Colts. We're home against the Colts and the Chargers. So we're home for 1, 2, 4 games. And we go to Miami on the 11th of November. Oh, also, too, I have to give the Ravens a real quick special shout out. They did their thing by giving a tribute to Michael K. Williams, a.k.a. Omar from The Wire. That was really good. They did that, the whistling, yo, Omar coming. Family Mackie. Yo, did you look at the game from tonight? Yes, I caught some of it. I will recap it tomorrow in episode 8 of the podcast. I just wanted to go live. I just wanted to get this Sunday's games out the way. So I'll definitely talk about the game from tonight and preview for Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. Let me talk real quick about the Washington football team. So we tried out 2 running backs. I'm trying to figure out why, when we already have Antonio Gibson, McKenzie, and Jarrett Patterson. We worked out Dante Foreman and Raquel Armistead. I guess I'm assuming this has to be if one of these 3 guys go down with injury. I mean, Gibson did injure his shoulder against San Diego, but he did miss 1 practice. But I had to do my research on these guys. Foreman was a 3rd-round pick by the Texans. He only spent 2 seasons with them. He was with the Colts before landing with the Titans in last year. He did sign with the Falcons this summer with training camp, but was released. Armistead was a 5th-round pick from Jacksonville, according to my notes from 2019. He rushed for 108 yards in 2019, 35 times, and last year was out due to COVID. So kind of interesting to see that, but I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. But I don't really think we need to worry about that. But the one thing I wanted to look back on from the Giants and Chargers game, I looked at our defense. There's a lack of continuity. I feel like it's not what I haven't been expecting. We forced 2 turnovers against San Diego, and we gave up 14 third downs. That can't happen. And then on top of that, we gave up 29 points to the Giants, and it was like close to 400 yards. The Giants averaged 6 yards a play. I feel like this was one of those don't bend but don't break moments. And this was don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing them, but I'm glad we got the win. But we should not have come out like that against a divisional rival. To me, and again, I look at the secondary. I know we got some new shiny pieces, but there's a lack of chemistry. I just noticed it. It's just a lack of chemistry. And real quick, I got a piece of tape that I want to show you. I got a piece of tape, but when I look at so far, William Jackson III, Kendon Fuller, Brandon St. Just, Landon Collins, Cam Curl, Bobby McClain. Only 3 of those guys are with us from last year. We are relying on Brandon St. Just, who's only played, 66% of the defensive snaps. Definitely did his thing against the Giants. Not taking anything away from that. But I've noticed we're playing, I want to say it's like a cover 6. I had to look back on it, and it's like one half is playing cover 4, and the other half's playing cover 2. And again, like I said, I got some tape that I want to show y'all because we got to get on the same page as a cohesive unit because these are the type of things. And again, Jack Del Rio, who is well respected and former Raven coach back in the early 2000s when we won the Super Bowl, we're going up against Buffalo. And these are the kind of things that I'm expecting Jack Del Rio. I know that they will get better on again. But let me just show you a piece of tape. Okay, let me just show you. As I share my screen. Okay, so you see how they're playing. I want you to see how the defense is set up again on this play. Now, obviously this is just a defensive breakdown, but I would think, this is me, that the safety should be there should be some help on this side, but the corner doesn't get it. Those kind of things is what I mean. Do you see these again? I'll play it again. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I don't know if this was a lack of communication or just a bad defensive breakdown because the Giants exposed it. And for me, that's something we have to figure out going against Buffalo. But again, like I said, I know Jack Del Rio. I know what he can do as a coach. And again, I'm not worried about it. But I got to talk about the Baltimore Orioles real quick. Unfortunately, we got swept against the Boston Red Sox. Sunday, the final score is 8-6. Trey Mancini's has been out in and out the lineup with an oblique injury. I can really tell he's ready. He's ready for the season to be over. Personally, from a guy who's coming off colon cancer. I like the quote here. I have the quote here. Quote, "Cancer is the only thing that put me on the IR in my career. And I like to keep it that way. I'm just trying to push through. And when I feel like I'm able to go out there and perform well, I want to be out there competing with these guys. I mean, again, I just respect his heart. And what he's just been through. To me, in my personal opinion, he's my Roberto Clemente Award winner of the year. I can't say enough about Trey Mancini. Just unfortunately, Alexander Wells didn't. He struggled pretty badly. He loaded the bases on a walk and then gave up 2 singles. Bobby Dolbeck hit a double, and then Kevin Polonwick hit it just offensive, just pitching wise, it just didn't look good. I mean, Alex Wells did settle down. I think he retired like 12 or 13, and then JD Martinez in the third inning hit a cheesy home run. The offense is there. It's the pitching. The last time Trey Mancini drove in more than one run was against the Chicago White Sox back in July. He's currently batting up until this game tonight was like a 259 with a 78 on base percentage. No, I'm sorry, OPS percentage. Excuse me, not on base. The pitching is just trash. I can't stress that. I cannot stress that enough. I'm glad there's 2 weeks left of watching this team play baseball because some of these games I really cannot believe I've really stomached watching them. I just can't. I can't deal with the Orioles anymore. I'm glad we got 2 more weeks. Just disappointing. I appreciate the job Michael Elias has done building this team from the ground up. This Oriole team, I give them another year or two, and they're ready to compete. But to now have another third straight 100-loss season, besides last year due to COVID, I can't stomach really much more of it, and I'm done. But tonight, I'm happy we beat the Phillies. Yes, we beat the Phillies 2-0. It was a really great game. It was a good game. John Means went out there and did his job. We made the Phillies offensively had no answers for us. We gave up just 4 hits, 1 walk, and most people say, wow, you lost to the worst team with the worst record in baseball. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Again, John Means, I feel like is the number one guy in our rotation. He looked good out there. He even had a double. Hit a double center field. I thought that was great. Again, the last 2 innings, Philadelphia went 0-6, but I feel like the Phillies are going to win the next 2 games. I do, but we beat the Phillies. We play them tomorrow and Wednesday. I don't know what to feel. So the Phillies they're like what now? 4 games back from the NL East. And the Braves are playing the Diamondbacks. So, I listen. I know it's going to be some fans in Philly. They're going to go those radio announcers. They're going to go crazy tomorrow in Philly. How could you how could you lose to the worst team in base? One of the worst teams in baseball. Pathetic. The Nationals, we lost in extra innings tonight. Disappointing, but it was a very good game. Final score 8-7 on a wild pitch. Can't really say again. Let's really talk about the Nats. The Marlins. I have to give the Marlins credit. They're a young team. They're a young team, and they're coming. I'm a fan of Jazz Chisholm. These boys, they know what they're doing. Eric Betty came into this game against the Marlins. He's been streaky. I think he's like when 3 starts, he's at an ERA of 1.4. He's given up 3 earned runs in like 17 and 1/3 of an inning. Walked 22 Ks. He did really good. 2 scoreless innings, and then he just gave up the homework to Jazz, and And then this shit hit the fan. I mean, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, gave up 3 home runs. Jesus let Lazardo, Lazardo. Fun fact, was a 3rd-round pick by the Nationals, who was with Oakland, but they traded him to Florida for Starling Marte. Weird, but more depth for the Marlins. Okay, he looked really good. I just we just had the game. I mean, Lazardo's line was 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 2 Ks. Bullpen did its kind of was decent tonight, but while we intentionally walked Jesus Sanchez to start the half of the ninth, and is now beyond me. I don't know. The Nationals are another team. I'm kind of glad the season's over for us too, with the Nationals, with the NL, with the they're in rebuilding mode. So it's nothing else to really sneeze at as well. Maybe we play them tomorrow as well. So I know that's going to be I believe we're going to win that game tomorrow. Let me see who's starting for both teams real quick. It should be like as I'm looking. You go to MLB.com. I want to see who's starting the game for the Nationals and the Orioles. Okay, so Josh Rogers is coming into this game as a starter, and they don't know who's going to start for the Marlins as of yet. For the Orioles, let's see who starts on their website. Unknown. They don't have anything on their website as of yet. So it's really not much going on as far as baseball. I know Salvador Perez broke the record for most home runs in the season by a catcher. Got to put him in the MVP conversation for sure. Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. I definitely did want to talk about that. I felt like it was much ado about nothing. I thought it was a guy, me showing leadership, letting a young guy know, hey, look, it's not about you. Just let it go. I cannot stress this enough. I think we've spoiled some of these guys. I really feel like we've how can I explain this? Let me just share that. Let me just show you the clip. Oh, I think I might get copyrighted for that. Oh shit. I'm sorry. But I mean that was essentially the video. Manny Machado has always been to me a great baseball player. Even when his time in Baltimore. I just see Manny Machado as a guy who's just trying to will his team to win. I think that, again, this is just much to do about nothing. Again, like I said, he's the San Diego Padres. If you told me today, are they the team? You know, everyone raved about this team being a World Series contender. But I don't see that. What I do see where there needs to be some accountability with the coaching. Somebody's seats has to get hot because unfortunately I feel like if you're losing on a team and they're not doing X, Y, and Z, you know, unfortunately, coach is always going to scapegoat, but we never hold these players to a certain extent, a certain standard. You got to understand that the window for the San Diego Padres to compete for a World Series is short, and when I mean it's short, it's about 2 to 4 more years easily, and they got to understand we can't. We got our foot is on this gas. At some point, we're gonna have to put the brake we have to put the brake down. And I look at the San Diego Padres. I thought they on paper with the talent that they have, they should be easily the second best team in the National League, easily. But we've slept on the San Francisco Giants. We damn sure slept on the Los Angeles Dodgers. And on top of that, the Colorado Rockies are not all far behind them neither. So I thought that was much ado about nothing. To me, it was just a veteran letting a young guy know, look, it's not about you. It's a team effort. You know, again, there's guys that worry about their brand and don't put the team first, and that's not good. I don't like that. But I know Alex Avila said this is his last year. Alex Avila's been like around the league for I don't know how many times now. But he's been like with how many teams? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6 teams. 11 Silver Slugger back in 2011 and an All-Star. I mean, other than that, we're getting ready for the playoffs for baseball, so nothing else much going on there. Other news around the NBA, congratulations to Anthony Davis as he is now a newlywed. Congratulations. I think LeBron James was there, Russell Westbrook, Jared Dudley were all there. Congratulations. I wish to both of you guys a successful and healthy marriage. Malika Andrews is replacing Rachel Nichols. If you remember, Rachel Nichols got her show taken away because of some comments at the time about Maria Taylor, pretty much saying that she didn't want to give up her spotlight. I'm just basically paraphrasing it. But I feel like shit already hit the fan with ESPN. I mean, ESPN with this whole diversity thing, just a fail. Malika Andrews also, too, she's a really great NBA analyst. I like the way she covers the games and the sideline tasks, different things like that. I just really feel like the way that audio of her was leaked, that just didn't really paint her they didn't paint a pretty picture of Rachel. It just didn't. So unfortunately, this is kind of like slapping her on the wrist. I kind of see her leaving ESPN and probably going back to TNT Sports. I know the Warriors worked out Isaiah Thomas, Quinn Cook, and A.B. Bradley. They want to sign 2 guards and a center before training camp. Steve Ballmer and the Los Angeles Clippers, they broke ground on a new stadium that's going to go in Englewood. There's a video. I wish I could show that. It was so hilarious of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George kind of just sitting there like, oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It was so funny because they're both. Because I guess it was like it was a ceremony to break the ground of the stadium, and it was hilarious. And then we're going to get into a couple other things, and that's going to end the episode. I'm just really hoping that I don't get copyrighted for that. Get my video blocked worldwide for that video with Manny Machado and Tatis. Hoping. So this is them breaking the ground. You see Jerry West, Ty Lue. Okay, here it is. This was funny. I can't play the music, but this is funny. Watch their face. Especially Kawhi. Yo. That was hilarious. I love Kawhi Leonard, man. But it's a new stadium for the Clippers. They're going to get out of the Staples Center. They're going to go into Englewood. So I feel like a new stadium definitely is good for the Clippers. I've always felt that they should have had one. That says a lot about Donald Sterling as a former owner. But that's neither here. But that's all in the past. So he's not owning the Clippers. So it is what it is. Okay. So I'm forewarning you, this next topic is going to get really, really rough because yesterday I almost wanted to break my TV because watching for 36 games, a team that has just been inconsistent, a lack of consistency. They fought through injuries. Just a lack of a true identity. And for me to see the Mystics get eliminated last night to the Minnesota Lynx was absolutely one of the most disappointing things I've seen as a Mystic fan. The last time that happened, we missed the playoffs, was like 2012. I really don't know where to really begin or what to really feel. All I can say is I'm going. Let me pull up the box score because y'all know I love to do that because I want to and I got some clips and I want you guys to understand this. So once again, we didn't have Coach Mike Thibault because he's recovering from COVID. Again, send my thoughts and prayers to him and his wife Nancy. Um, I really don't know what to feel. I feel like we did everything right. I really do. Um, at the end of the day, just I mean, we got to give effort. Where do I begin? Um, just turnovers and not hitting shots, and of course, I mean, we can point fingers at the referees, but again, 7 of 22 from three. Um, what else can I point at? 15 turnovers, and to really add fuel to the fire that's already starting to engulf. The most frustrating turnover was when Maisha tried to find Natasha and the ball was stolen and knocked down. They knocked down 4 free throws to win the game. Natasha Cloud, besides her, Tina Charles, and Ariel Atkins, Natasha Cloud left it all out there on the floor. Tina Charles had a double-double with 14 points and 13 rebounds. Ariel Atkins had 17. This was our game to win, and we flat out showed like we didn't want it. And I'm sitting here today as of October. Nathan, it's time for you to go to bed. September 21st. And I'm now eating my words because I sat here when I made that video with the WNBA 144. I said it. I said, the Washington Mystics, they're going to make the playoffs. And it's like, wow. And I can't remember I can't remember the person who made a comment in there, but I think he said something along the lines of Washington doesn't have the firepower. And he said the person said some other like comment that was kind of like, okay, I'm leaving it at that. Again, I even had to look back at the New York Liberty game. And the same thing. We looked flat. I just don't really know going forward with this team. Something has to give. We only got 2.5 games from Deladon. False hope. Because she hadn't played a game in over 2 years. Alyssa Clark, the biggest free agent we had because Tiana Hawkins left for Atlanta and Ariel Powers left for Minnesota. She's out for the season because she injured her foot playing overseas. Emma Mieseman, WNBA Finals MVP, decided to say, hey, I need to, take some time for myself because of not only am I playing overseas, but I'm playing the Olympics and having to come back. That's a lot on one person. Okay. Natasha Cloud, Mahisha Hines-Allen, Erica McCall, injuries. Tina Charles, also injuries. On paper, you would think to yourself, with this squad, but again, and I'm going to get more into the Mystics in tomorrow's episode, but I just want to talk about this game. to just we were playing the Liberty. I want to say it was to have 6 fully dressed players. That lets me know that as a coach and as a GM, Thibault really never had the team that he wanted in the offseason. The way he constructed this team is horrible. Tina Charles cannot again. That you're asking her, and I know she's capable of being she's a productive scorer. I know what she can do, but you're asking her, Maisha Hines Allen, Ariel Atkins, excuse me, to carry the load, and Natasha's as well. And I'm looking at the others around them. 12-20 was our final record. We didn't have the firepower. Defensive struggles were horrendous this season. I mean, it's like we just needed to win this. We needed to win one of these 2 games. And we blew it Friday against Liberty. And then yesterday to watch it on TV, to watch them lose 83-77. I mean, it was 79-77. The turnover was like 18 seconds left. That was the game. Now, I got some tape that I want to show y'all because, again, I'm going to go more in the Mystics in tomorrow's episode because I got some things I want to get off my chest because this was as a fan of the Mystics, it was very disappointing for me to see this team. Very disappointed. I'm not sad, but I'm frustrated because I know what this team is capable of, and I know, again, according to the same YouTuber, trust your eyes. I know what they can do. I've seen what they can do. I've seen the talent back in 2019. I even saw it in some stints in the bubble last year. But let me go ahead and play these clips. Actually, hold on. There we go.
We were flexible with mixing the lineups, playing small a little bit. But I just told him I was appreciative of the effort, and it's an opportunity for everybody to grow. Sometimes ending like this makes you reality kind of hits you in the face, and we know we have to get better. You have to say on the balance of the season, and probably tonight that Minnesota's better. They got 22 wins, and we've got 12. And so we know we have to improve, and that's coaches, players, everything. That we can be better going into next year. Both. I think there were definitely missed opportunities. We can probably circle the games on the calendar that were the most missed opportunities. We had leads. I don't know what the final number was. We had at one point in the season leads at halftime and well over half of our games. So,
trust your eyes.
But you need certain level of talent to close games like that when it gets tight, especially when you're playing good teams. And obviously we had a lot of talent taken out of our team through circumstance and bad luck and injuries and all the rest. So, we got to control what we can control, and we can sure be better at that, probably in terms of everyday preparation and focus and working to develop skill-wise. But, you don't go 12-20 and say, like our talent level is where we need it to be. We have people coming back like Alicia and Elena that immediately increase that, but we got work cut out for us there as a front office as well. Yeah, I mean, we got some big wins in tough spots. I think before the break, we had won like 4 games with 8 players or fewer. I don't know what that number ended up being, but we had a lot of games missed. I thought we showed good resiliency the last couple of weeks when we got our butts handed to us in Seattle. We came back and played hard, got a couple wins, and gave ourselves a shot. I thought we showed resiliency tonight, but not quite enough on both fronts, big picture and tonight. Oh, for sure. I mean, those guys know what it is to be at this point in the season and play like that. Tosh and Ariel have been in big games. I think the next challenge for both of them is seeing the whole picture. And Tosh as a point guard is obviously developed in a big way in that regard. She made him pay tonight scoring the ball. She's been really good sharing the ball, obviously her whole career with, and has had big assist games this year. But I think just full control of the game. How are we being played? Are they switching? Are they going under? Are they hedging? Can I make them pay no matter which way we're played? And I think, they're both capable. They both have great years in front of them. And it's can you be in total command of your craft? And I think that's going to be where we start with them going forward. We left it out there tonight. I thought we took a couple punches from them, one in the first quarter and one in the third quarter, and came back and played hard. Playing hard should be a given. It should be a given. We should always play hard and hang our hat on that, and then we have to just perform better on both sides of the ball. And Tosh, I think she'd admit at the start of the year, like it just took a little while to get her rhythm back. You don't play. She played a handful of games overseas, and it was, playing at this level and having the ball in your hands that much is a lot to put on her. And I thought she got better as the year went on, and had a game like she did tonight to close it out. Kind of tells that story of where she's, how she's finished the back end of the year offensively, especially. Defensively, we know she's good every night and should be on an all defensive team, first team in my book.
Okay, now next clip. I know. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Next, I got to play Tina and Tasha's clip. There's a full interview of it on YouTube. I think it's like Sports Entertainment TV, and they do all like interviews, post game, pre game, shoot around, all that. And there is a part in the interview where Tina you look at her body language, and again, as a Sagittarius myself, okay, because she's a Sagittarius, okay. Body language really tells a lot, but again, let me just play the clip. Let me just play the clip so you can see what I mean. Again, just for the record, I know what Tina Charles can. Tina Charles, I'm still kind of like still coming to the realization that she's actually a Washington Mystic. I would never think that, because she's with the she was with Connecticut, and then she went to New York. But I would never think she would be a Mystic. I didn't even think Elena Deladon would be a Mystic. But let me shut up and play the clip.
It was great. It was good to see Natasha Cloud just having that will to win. It was good to see that that's the personality that you need every night when you play. That's how you have to come into your practices. That's the habits that you have to develop. You can't turn it off and on. You don't want to be a front running team. Minnesota, they're well-coached team. They come down, they get into their sets, their defense, just everything that they do. So Reeves, and I'm not taking anything away from this organization at all, but when you're going against a team like that, a franchise like that has that history, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. And that's why you got to set in a foundation from the beginning of the season when you do get in these situations against these types of teams that you have something to fall back on. You don't want to be lucky. So yeah, like how I opened up. I'm very thankful that players continue to come out and play hard. I think having a mix of age group, the young guys, they definitely, they didn't feel sorry for themselves. It was always great energy in the locker room. It was always very light and air and everything, something that I'm not used to. I'm very serious. I'm very about business, but it was good to have just during the midst of what you mentioned, the adversity. So again, I'm just thankful that these guys showed up. So, yeah, I think I do what I always strive to do each and every single year. It's just to get better. It's just, like I said to one reporter before, it's the players like your John Cole Jones, your Stewie, your Nafisa, these talented players where I know I have to stay on top of my game in order for me to still be relevant and respected. So I don't take that lightly. I'm very thankful for the talent and the skill level that has developed within the league. And, I'm always going to be in the gym and working on my game. But I like to think that every year I do get better. I like to think that every year I come in and add something to my game. And
Yes, she does. Trust your eyes.
just just how wide-eyed she is. She just wants to get better. She just loves to get better. She's always in the gym. She's the utmost professional that I've seen at that age of her, just her approach. She really leans on Alicia Clark a lot because she just wants to get better defensively, and she's going to keep growing and developing, and soon to be the other face of this franchise, which is.
She was talking about Ariel. She's talking about Ariel
Just
Atkins.
the character of a woman that she is. So it's really great to see young players coming to their own.
But again, she's a Sagittarius, and so am I. The body language really, really says a lot. Because I really, really feel like when she came here, I don't think this is what she was expecting. I don't think, and regardless of the injuries, you just have, I hate to say, you just have to say this was a disappointing year. Now, I'm going to play a couple more clips because I have to play some clips from the Liberty. I'm not going to play Coach T, but I'm going to play specifically Ariel and Tosh. But this is Natasha's. Again, I want you just to pay attention to the body language, y'all.
Adversity that could be thrown at a team and an organization was thrown at us this year. And I talking to you earlier, it's like one of the punches going to stop. But I am proud of our resiliency. I'm proud of our fight, but there's a lot of things that we need to get better at. And I think all of us need to go look in the mirror and self-reflect and figure out in which ways we need to be better, whether it's skill-wise, whether it's mentality-wise, whether it's being a good teammate, whether it's consistency and poise. There's a lot of room for growth. So yes, this sucks. This hurts. But, you dust yourself off and you get up and you come back better next year. I am proud of how hard we fought today. And, I'm not typically a person. I talk to the refs a lot during the games, but these last two games, it was clear that we weren't the favorite of wanting to go into the playoffs. And you can sit back, you can watch these last two games, and I think they had way too much effect on our game. But yes. I am very proud of how this team fought today. But again, you talk about the being in it to the last, few minutes. That's where our growth needs to come in, of being able to get that last stop, go down, attack them down by 2, make those last layups. That's the room for growth that we need. That's the growth that a championship team needs. So a lot of self-reflecting this offseason is going to be good for, us and us as an organization. And I feel like in big moments, I've stepped up for our organization and for this team. And so I'm just really proud of myself too, especially after taking last season off. And, I didn't start great, but I left everything out there today. So I'm proud of that effort.
Oh, yeah, really quick. I got to give Natasha Clark a shout out. I think it's a school here in Maryland. I can't remember what the name of the school, but they have a mural of her painted. So, well, she's done a lot for the community in DC and as an activist and different things like that. So it's well deserved.
Chadwick Boseman, when he spoke at Howard's commencement speech, he talked about your purpose and the adversity and the challenges along the way are only intended to shape you for your purpose. And so I think all this adversity, weathering the storm this season, has made us better for our purpose, whether that's on the court or off the court. It's challenged us as people, it's challenged us as leaders, and we're going to be better people and players because of it. But going into next season, if this season can't, break us down and knock us out, I mean, obviously we didn't make playoffs, but like we stayed the course and we're still standing here today.
Okay.
I'm
just trying to just really just point out body language. A couple things that she said. Very disappointing. Yes, absolutely very disappointing. Brandon says all over it. The couple things that she said in there where we need some self-accountability, we have to do some self-reflecting, consistency, poise. That stings a little bit if I'm on this team. Because again, I've pointed it out all season. I don't know what more I can say. When I'm looking at the bench production was just horrendous. Because I mean, they're nice where I'm looking at the box score. Girls are literally in the game with donuts, bagels, cookies. They're not being productive. I mean, Theresa Plaisance, for example, in the game against New York, she took 6 threes and didn't make one. Horrendous. Sydney Weiss is supposed to be this 3-point shooter. I haven't seen that all season. Inconsistent. The Megan Gustafsson experiment was a clear fail. The best game she had this season was against Seattle. She had 12 points. There's no consistency. There's no self-accountability. And a lot of it points to, I just think, and again, I'm going to go more into this in tomorrow's episode, there's just some girls that are just going to have to go. Because now the Mystics got to ask themselves, I'm looking at going after next year. Emma Meesseman is a free agent. Tina Charles re-signed for 1 more year. After that, you really don't know where the Mystics are going to go. Because going into this year, again, Della Dawn hasn't played in over 2 years. Alyssa Clark got injured overseas. Emma Meesseman has been overseas committing with in Belgium and in the Olympics. Some of the pieces that he's had in the beginning of the season, unless we know his construction of this roster, it makes absolutely no sense. But I want to play, because I didn't get a chance to play the clips from the New York Liberty interview. But I'm not going to play Eric because Eric and I pretty much said the same exact thing. We didn't come out like we didn't want it. We didn't come out with a swagger. It was just really, really disappointing. I just don't know what to feel at this point about the Mystics. I really don't. Here is the clip against the Liberty. I'm just going to play it, and then we're going to end it here because I'm really trying my best to really, because there's some things that I'm trying to keep myself composed. I'm trying to compose myself as best I can because I'm really frustrated, because I mean this whole weekend, honestly, with the Orioles getting swept, and then even though they won tonight, even though I'm happy my Ravens won yesterday, I'm still licking the wounds from Monday. The Nationals haven't been looking good. I just think with the Mystics, I know what this team can do. They can be better.
Exactly that. We didn't handle business tonight. We didn't come in.
Again, body language, people, watch.
Ready to play. We didn't come in ready for the game scheme, and we didn't buy in completely. And that's frustrating when our season is on the line. So the beautiful thing is we did our work early. So we're still in a position to come in Sunday and still make this playoff push and get a dub. But we really got to buy in on the defensive end. I'm tired of talking about offense for us. If we don't buy in on the defensive end, we're not going to win. Period.
Yeah, we've been here before, so unfortunately, situations like that aren't new to us. So that was my primary focus coming in. Is like, how can we find a way to get stops and how can we get buckets on the other end to close that gap? But like Tosh said, as offensively as like it looked, and we fought our way back in it. If you don't get stops, you don't win a basketball game. She's kicking out of doubles quicker. She's seeing them quicker. She's getting her eyes up faster. It's not to say that she's never known how to do that. But I think her learning the personnel of our team has given her the confidence to have confidence in us to be able to kick quick out of those kickouts. And again, it's just like me or Tosh. Like, I have to earn Tosh's respect. If she kicks it to me, then I'm going to make the right decision. And I think vice versa, Tina. I was just trying to win a basketball game, man. My teammates putting me in position and try to knock those shots down. Tosh looking for me early. I'm just trying to win basketball games, man. That's my focal point going into every game. They held me down when I wasn't here, and I felt like coming back, I needed to make sure I was focused, and I'll be ready for the Minnesota game. I mean, he knows the game of basketball. Like, as much as he wants to act like this is a new position for him, he's vocal in every single one of our games and in practice. So, if anything, I don't think it's necessarily Eric stepping
She's
up.
talking
It's
about the
the
coach.
significance
She's talking about
that
Coach
sees in
T's
him.
son, Eric.
Eric is who he is. He's good at what he does. He understands the game. He knows game plans. He knows how to get his players where he wants them. He can coach. So, I mean, as much as it is his first head game, like, it's Eric Tebow. He's been coaching since he was like 12, you know? So.
Yeah. So in the game film, we'll be able to see where we messed up and where we need to improve. And then we're all competitors. We're going to come out Sunday trying to get this win. We're going to leave everything on the floor. And that's just a testament to our team. We've weathered the storm all season long. So this isn't new to us. But Tina and Maisha have carried us most of the year. So I think
That's true.
to kind of hone in on, a few rebounds here and there. Yes. Did it hurt us? Yeah. But collectively, we each had our own individual kind of mess ups on the defensive end, and we could have helped them out as guards coming in and rebounding as well. So we don't look at it as, oh, Tosh got that over Tina and Mai. They got rebounds over our team.
Okay. With Ariel Atkins, real quick, I have to send my thoughts and prayers to her, because she had a death in the family. There was the full interview. She actually started crying because I want to say I feel like I want to say it was her aunt or something like that, but I know it was a death in the family, so I have to give my thoughts and prayers to her and her family. But these last two games, the interviews clearly show body language, and they're going to have to ask themselves, front office wise and coaching, because Mike Thibault is the coach and GM. When you have your two best players, one of your Natasha Cloud, Tina Charles, making the comments that they're making publicly about the team, and on top of that, you don't make the playoffs. That stings. And again, I'm going to go more into it, but I have to sit here and eat my words because I sat here all year and we're like, oh, they're going to make the playoffs for sure. And it came to smack me right in the face. And I said, well, we're not. When I knew we lost Friday, I said, we're not winning Sunday. That's just how I hate to go into Sunday with that kind of mentality. But a picture's worth 1,000 words. And this offseason, we're really going to – I have ideas of what the Mystics can do to be better because I'm looking at Chicago, New York, Atlanta, who's coming, Indiana, who's on the rise another year or two, and then Connecticut, who's a powerhouse team, who I believe is going to win the championship. Washington's in the middle is in the middle of the road, and they're going to have to really figure out next year. And I'm not saying start all over again, but you got a caliber championship team here, healthy. But some of these girls, they're going to have to go, plain and simple. But let me stop talking about the Mystics because I'm gonna lose my mind. The playoffs are officially here for the WNBA. They start Thursday. We got the single elimination round. We got the Dallas Wings versus the Chicago Sky. New York Liberty Mercury. The New York Liberty versus the Phoenix Mercury. Those games come on Thursday. I will break those games down in tomorrow's episode of the podcast. And I'm also going to give you my awards for MVP, Most Improved Player, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, WNBA first and second team, All Defensive first and second team, Rookie first and second, well, really rookie team. Even though this draft class was really, really not that good. It's like the race for Rookie of the Year is like here. That's how bad the rookies were this year. No, I mean bad. I mean they weren't getting the minutes. Like the 4th overall pick, she after the Olympic break decided to take a personal leave. So she didn't play at all. The number 1 overall pick has been sitting on Dallas's bench practically the whole season. The number 2 overall pick is on a team that stinks and is like a chicken without its head. This was just not a good draft class. I mean, this was not now, let me take this back. It was a good draft class, but the way that these girls this season have been used individually on their teams has been just bad. It's been really bad. So I mean, honestly, truthfully, that's going to conclude episode 7. Updates for season 3. We got 2 more weeks of baseball. Thank God. I cannot stomach any Oriole games. And obviously football's here. Y'all let me know y'all favorite football teams, man. Let me know what y'all think of them so far the first 2 weeks. Basketball starting up soon. Hockey starting up. I'm going to try to keep up with hockey as best I can. That's going to be impossible. With college football and then college basketball starting up as well, men and women's. I apologize, y'all. I'm happy. Baltimore Ravens won. I'm happy, but it's just like Orioles lost, Mystics lost. That kind of just ruined the weekend for me. But it's all good. But that's really season 3's update so far. If you want to give me more suggestions, leave your thoughts below. For sure, it doesn't have to be just sports, y'all. It could be about social topics, different things like that. It doesn't just have to be just sports. I did see one quick, actually, hold that before I end the episode. Fat Joe. I know this is probably, I know for sure this has already been talked about, and I'm late to the party. Made some comments about the women that Ja Rule's worked with on Great Live Cover the Missing YouTuber they found. Let me see. I could talk about this in the next episode. Oh, Gabby Patillo. Oh man, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna definitely talk about that. I'm gonna definitely talk about that for sure. But yeah, Fat Joe made some very some inappropriate comments, talking about the women job rule that he's worked with on on his records, calling them basically dusty. Excuse my language, ladies that's in here, dusty bitches. First and foremost, that's ignorant, idiotic, out of pocket. I agree, Lucinda, very disrespectful. Um, you know, I think that's a bit uncalled for. You know, he was referencing Little Mo and Vita, by saying Ja had to go to the crack house. I mean, regardless, I don't like the fact that he went on Twitter and apologized. I thought that was, you shouldn't have said it in the first place. But it really just showed me, covering Nicki Minaj on her comments about the COVID-19 vaccine. Y'all talk about that. That's a good topic. That's a good topic to talk about. I really feel like his comments, it really shows just how misogynic hip hop was allowed back in the day, especially when I was growing up, coming along, especially towards black women. You know, it really, on top of that, you know, we just lost a good person, Michael K. Williams. You know, I think that shows really, yeah, he wants to blame for being hype. Well, yeah, and I thought that was BS. You know, we got a lot of those out there in the black and brown communities that are suffering from addiction and different things like that. You know, I know little Mo's, you know, she's recovered from an opioid addiction. And, you know, DMX, you know, he admitted how he had family that got him addicted on drugs and different things like that. And once again, you know, I Fat Joe, I really was never a fan of. I was more of a fan of Big Pun for me. I mean, personally, Remy Ma is just not a fan of her, really. I feel like she tried to be like a Little Kim wannabe, in my personal opinion. Because the way she came at his defense, I thought that was disgusting. But I feel like regardless, as a friend, you would pull him. You would have a conversation and say, "Hey, you got out of character for that." But see, but DMX was very self-logical when he got into his thoughts. Absolutely, it wasn't. We was really philosophical. But again, and we're living in a world where this cancel culture thing is, I'm not a fan of it entirely, but I understand, because we have people that lack accountability, and sometimes we have to remember, canceling out and holding somebody accountable are two separate things. It's not the same. But if we can't hold it, let me just say this. He was definitely wrong in the apology, didn't seem sincere. No, it wasn't sincere. We have to hold him accountable for his choices. Remy Ma should have spoken up when she said it with Fat Joe when she felt like she was being loyal. Because once again, Remy Ma's, like, I think to me, still living in like in the early 2000s. Like, she's made her money, she's good. But Remy Ma's another one who has her face up his ass, in my personal opinion. I just thought it was just flat out of bounds, you know. And again, I'm not saying, again, with canceling him, but we need to hold him accountable. And I thought the apology was like chatting what Common Sense said was not sincere. And yes, where's the cancel culture on Fat Joe? I don't want to say. I want to say where's the accountability? Where is the consequences for him? Because me personally, if I'm looking at a record label, I'm saying, yo, we're not gonna have that. I can't have someone like you representing my record label disrespecting women. I can't do that. You got to find somebody else. Those are the kind of things you do. It's not saying, well, I'm gonna throw all his CDs away and no one buy them. Because more of hold him accountable for the comments he made, because he should not have made them in the first place. Because just for the record, I mean, Ja Rule had his hits, so did Fat Joe. But I could name you off like 10 hits, 10 songs I know from Ja Rule versus Fat Joe. You know, like he was wrong for that, and he knows it. He knows it. I mean, this is the same guy. I mean, he did an interview with Busta Rhymes. I made a whole video on it, talking about the whole with the election and different things like that. Some of the things that he was saying didn't really make sense to me. But if Fat Joe is out of pocket for that, and with all due respect, I lost some. Ja Rule definitely has more tracks than Fat Joe. Yeah, he does, and I've kind of lost some respect for him on that, because regardless, you shouldn't have made those comments. And I don't care what the situation is. You don't know what anyone you don't know what Little Mo was going through. You don't know what Ashanti may go through. Hell, you don't even know what Remy Ma was going through. And for Remy Ma to brush it off like that, what does that say about her? Again, holding her accountable. Not canceling, holding her accountable. So I like some of the comments. Let me give a shout out to those that joined me tonight. Family Mackey, appreciate you coming out. Lucinda, appreciate you coming out. Chatting with Common Sense, appreciate you coming out. I like the suggestions. Real quick, let me talk about Nicki Minaj real quick, and then I'm gonna end it off here. I'm not going to really be a broken record with it. I have spoken on this numerous times. I don't want to come across as somebody who's telling you what to do. Again, I am a believer of the word research and understanding what we have to be careful with the things that are said by the media, because I've made numerous videos on this, and I'm going to on this. The media spins the narrative. The media tells you what they want to tell you. It's unfortunate to really see what COVID-19 has done to us as a society and as a world and as a global community, where we have become divided. I'm all about having conversation. Again, it's your choice. I respect it. I'm not telling you what to do. with your body. That's your choice. You don't want to get the vaccine. And I respect that. But I just encourage people to just do research, talk to your doctors to get an understanding of it instead of relying on people like Nicki Minaj, where she's making these claims where there's no proof, where she said her cousin in Trinidad didn't get the vaccine because his friend got it and his testicles became swollen. How do you know that? How do you don't, like, again, you can't see, we're saying things like that, and look at what it could do to her as a celebrity. And it just seems like misinformation and not presenting fact. But see, again, she did say in a tweet, because the Twitter, unfortunately, I'm glad Nikki is trying to bring awareness, and she definitely needs to research it more deeply. I agree, she is, but I think her comments when she first came out with it, with her cousin, with her friend's cousin with the swollen testicles, that could have been from an STD. That could have been anything. He could have damaged the testicles by something. Okay, but we don't know. Like, we can't make those kind of assumptions like that. Then she said something about when she was pregnant. The vaccine does something to pregnant women. Again, if you're going to make these kind of comments, where's your research? Where are your facts? Unfortunately, again, I'm seeing a lot of economic anxiety, inequality, and bigotry. I'm really seeing where politics has really divided us as a country and as a world. Because I just want us to just get back to a place where there's just peace and love, and we all do our part to end this together. But I just feel like some of the things that she was saying, it's that's muddy water, and I feel like we shouldn't be misinforming. We should be encouraging people, educate yourself on these things. And it's not just on vaccines. It's about everything like that. But it's just like when Cardi B brought awareness to Trump and politicians voting. But again, we shouldn't be relying on celebrities, athletes, all this other stuff. We ourselves, as regular people, 9-to-5 people, we should be doing our research on these politicians. I have said it, and God knows how many videos. Political organization matters. I said it before, I don't continue to say it. You know, your district congressmen, your DAs, your senators, mayors, governors, circuit court judges, all of them. They have a more profound impact on your everyday life than who the next president of the United States is. Because at the end of the day, they're just a figurehead. So I applaud. I have to give her some credit for willing to do some more research, but I really think we really have to be careful about misinforming others like that, because like this is just me. I said it earlier in the video. The devil works. He is going to do everything in his power to just create and bring negativity around us each and every day. But we gotta put our faith and trust in God, and ask Him to lead us in the right direction, not lead us astray. And I'm just going to I pray that Nicki Minaj, encourages everybody to do their research and, learn and grow from this. Because again, like I said, we gotta throw salt on the devil. We gotta get him off our shoulder, because again, he's going to do everything in his power to create hatred and all that. And again, like I said, we gotta continue to put our faith and trust in God. And exactly, that's where my trust lays in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's just me. I know other people may think differently. Hey, you're not going to get any hatred from me. That's just me. That's just me as a young Black man. My faith is, and again, like I said, I just encourage people, just do the research, talk to your doctors, and then, but more importantly, just be safe out here, man. I feel bad, for the kids. I got a couple of friends. I have some friends that are parents, and they're concerned about their kids and being in school, and they're excited for their kids to go back to school. At the same time, they have concerns, and again, it's just right here. Trust lays in the Lord and Savior in Jesus Christ. That's just me. So, but I'm definitely going to talk about. Absolutely, definitely. Thank you, Lucinda. You as well. Thank you. I'm definitely going to talk about. Let me find it. Where was it? Because she was again. I got to give Lucinda a shout out. Where is it? I know she said it. Talk about. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this topic tomorrow because I'm been really following up on it because there was a tweet I saw. And I kind of want to get y'all's thoughts on it. If I remember, I'll talk about it, but I'll be going live in the afternoon. If I remember, I can try to actually. You know what? I'm going to shoot it for tomorrow evening around the same time. I'm going to try to go on a little earlier, like about 10:30, 11. I'm going to try to go on a little bit early. I want to get y'all's comments on that, y'all's thoughts on this tweet that I saw regarding the YouTuber they found. You have a good night, Channing. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the love and support. So yeah, definitely gonna look out for it tomorrow. But tomorrow's episode, I'm going to break down the playoffs for the WNBA, my awards. I got to talk about the Monday Night Football game with the Lions and the Green Bay Packers recap. Some other things I took away from the Orioles and Orioles and Nationals, and that'll be episode 8. And yes, like I said, we're on the road to 100 subscribers. Please share the podcast. Again, leave y'all suggestions for me to talk about in the podcast. I'm open to talking about anything. That's, again, it doesn't just have to be just sports. Absolutely. Much love. But yeah, man, I'm road to greatness. I love doing this. This is why I picked it as a major in college, mass communications and journalism and media. I just love to have conversations. I love to talk. I love to give my opinion, and I love to have conversation and different things like that. I know sports is a passion of mine, but I'm learning as I'm growing. I'm philosophical. Again, as Sagittarius, philosophical in me likes to think and likes to engage in different things like that. So, with that being said, that's going to conclude episode 7. Episode 8, I'm going to push it to the evening instead of the afternoon. That way, there's more time, and I can get y'all's thoughts on this tweet that I saw. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace. Stay out.
First of all, listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind word and telling me how great a player I am. But when they play like crap and we call them out, we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I'm easy to find. But I get sick of these guys complaining. These young guys, they never call us and say, when a coach is wrong, I'm going to call him out. But when players are wrong, I'm going to call them out. But listen, I'm going to criticize guys that they deserve it. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.